5, the word backslidings is meshuvot. And a lot of people have a misconception of backsliding. They say, oh, yeah, Josie, he's fallen off the wagon. He's drinking coffee again. He's backsliding. Friend, backsliding is very serious. You have to remember, the people were ripe for destruction. Jerusalem had been condemned. And the Babylonians, just like the Assyrians, God had whistled for them, and they were coming. A very merciless and cruel people, fierce soldiers. And what were they going to do? They were going to drag everybody off into the Golas. And why? Why? Because these people had hardened their hearts, and they were calling the prophets windbags. And they were saying, God isn't going to do anything to us. He's not speaking through you. And then one day Jeremiah was told by the Lord to go to the gate of the Beis Hamikdash and stand there and tell them basically this. You say, we have the Beis Hamikdash, the Heichal Hashem. God has to protect us. We have the Heichal Hashem. And what does Jeremiah tell them? What did God give him to say? Look at Shiloh. You remember going back into 1 Samuel? You remember those two wicked ministers that were sleeping with the serving women in the tabernacle? Do you remember the house of the Lord was temporarily at Shiloh, and the people thought they could stand against the Philistines, no problem. So these two wicked ministers take the Aron Kodesh and go into the battle. And what happens? They're both killed. Not only that, but the Ark of the Covenant is taken. And not only that, but Shiloh itself is destroyed. And what he's saying here in chapter 7 is just as God did that to Shiloh, so he will do it to Jerusalem. Now, that doesn't sound like backsliding is a small matter. I believe that, I've heard people say, oh, my sister, she's a dealer in Vegas. And she's a little backslidden, yeah, but she knows the Lord. She knows the Lord. She's a believer, no problem. A little backslidden, but no problem. She's a believer. Friend, you're misusing the word. Go back to Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 6 in the Orthodox Jewish Bible and look at that word, meshuvot. It really is about apostasy. It's about falling away. It's about being an unbeliever. It's about turning your back on God. It's about provoking the Lord. It's about putting the Lord to the test. I know people, they've given up their ministry. They don't go to the house of God anymore. They live a very dissolute life. And look at the whole country. This is not the country that Jonathan Edwards knew. People in this country, they think they can call evil good, good evil. They think that they can have sexual education in the first grade and have the little child get a transgender operation and start going into the little girl's bathroom instead of the little boy's bathroom. Everybody you see on the street has a tattoo. They're all living with their boyfriend. And they think that they can go on and on and on with this and there won't be any problem. We're the United States of America. But what does God say through Jeremiah? He says, do you really think that I'm supposed to save you so that you can do these abominations? Do you think I'm supposed to protect you and enable you to do these abominations? You really think that my judgment will not visit you? You really think that's the kind of God that I am? And Jeremiah preached like that. We need messianic preachers like that, friend, especially now. And instead we have these guys that are basically operators of Judaica stores, giving us little arcane goodies from the Talmud. This is not the kind of preaching that Jeremiah did. It's not the kind of preaching that we need.